Consumer inflation jumping 1.1% in June, the biggest increase in over 2 decades. Former presidential candidate Ron Paul says inflation is a huge tax to you and me. And he has pretty choice words for Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke today. My colleague Alexis Glick talked to Ron Paul earlier. Take a listen.
You were pretty excited about the fact that you think the Fed is the biggest taxer right now, inflation killing us, the dollar declining. What do we do from here?
Well, we stopped the inflation, and Mr. Bernanke admitted, he conceded that inflation was a tax. He wasn't quite ready to take all the blame for the inflation, but I also prefaced that question by saying that almost all economists recognize that inflation is a monetary phenomenon. When you create a lot of new money out of thin air, you devalue the currency and prices go up. So if people are complaining about high prices, they're paying a tax. And he acknowledged that, but he quickly wanted to deflect that by saying, well, prices of oil go up for other reasons. But the point is everybody feels like they're short of money, but they're really not. They're short of value. And now we're trying to solve this financial crisis by bailing out everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
the Fed to create money and the Congress appropriate more money.
Congressman, let me ask you this. I mean, you and I have talked about this before. I mean, let's be realistic about this. If we're all putting the discount window to Fannie, to Freddie, to every broker dealer, and the commercial banks already have access to it, and the printing presses are in overdrive, we're going to continue to knock the U.S. dollar down. So what do we do to deal with these overinflated prices? I mean, clearly oil in the past 2 days is helping us.
Yeah, and that is temporary. We need a new monetary system. We need to restrain the Federal Reserve from its power to create money out of thin air, and that's why linkage to a commodity is so important. But it's congressional responsibility too. The Congress likes the Fed because they spend money and then they expect the Fed to monetize it. So this is ongoing, but it is really a reflection of what we think the role of government ought to be. If we think we have to be the policeman of the world and run the welfare state and run up deficits and then monetize our debt, I'll tell you what, we can't solve the problem. And that, of course, is what I've been preaching for a good many years, that we need to restrain the government. We need
Congressman,
to have...
let me jump in here because I don't have much more time with you. Look, there's all this talk about housing bills, whether they be the Senate or you in the House with Barney Frank getting something done. Are we actually going to see something happen as early as next week, or is this a conversation that we're going to be having 1 month from now?
No, it's going to happen. I thought it could have happened tomorrow, but it's been postponed. So it's on the verge of doing it, and the politicians won't have the courage to do what is right.
Is it good enough?
Oh no, it'll temporarily maybe make people feel better, but it's sort of like giving a shot of drugs to a drug addict. He feels better, but the patient gets sicker, and that's what's happening. The economy will get sicker. We won't get better by another shot of inflation.